Sixth grade teacher Belkis Medera came to the United States from the Dominican Republic at the age of 11. Speaking no English, she was able to teach herself a new language, maintain her class standing, and eventually graduate from college. Today, her students at the Oak Hammock School in Port St. Lucie, Florida, learn about human rights and the importance of being tolerant as they are exposed to the history of the Holocaust. Students study the experiences of Jewish children who were imprisoned in camps or who survived by being hidden. After months of learning about the Holocaust, the class is visited by over 20 Jewish survivors. These people spend the day telling stories about their own lost childhoods and what happened to them after being liberated. They also explain the importance of living a hate-free life and how they should never lose faith in themselves. The students finish the term creating art projects which depict a survivor's Holocaust experience.
Hi, my name is Belkis Medera, and I teach a sixth grade world history class at Oak Hammock School here in Port St. Lucie, Florida. 6 years ago, I was invited by Insight Through Education to visit the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. It was there that I met Norman Froshman, and that experience changed my life. I introduced the Holocaust day one to my students. I tried to incorporate it throughout the other lessons. I teach about ancient civilizations. And when I talk about tolerance, for example, with the Mayans or with the Indians or the Chinese, I usually, weave into that, what the Jewish people went through during this tragic event. The children will read the book. We will do a few assignments. They will write a synopsis of the biographies, and then I asked the children to choose a memory from their childhood, from the survivor's childhood that was pleasant. Then they have to create some projects. Sometimes they create paintings and then they write the quotes on them. They have done these memory boxes where they actually have the story of the survivor. We have done masks depicting these different memories. And we actually also drew on tiles, and we have a whole wall full of tiles with memories of these survivors. As a culminating activity, I invite Holocaust survivors from the Boca Raton area, survivors who actually are in these books, portrayed in these two books. And usually I get 20 to 30 survivors and family members. They usually have to rent a bus to come here. It is an event that my children, my students look forward to because they can't wait to meet their survivor. They don't know which survivors are coming, so when they know that their survivor is coming, they get so excited. This is the highlight of the whole unit. At the end of the day, we actually have an assembly where usually Norman Froshman will speak to over 600 attendees. We also listen to a little bit of each one of their stories because they all sit on the actual auditorium on stage. The children, after that, they write reflections. And as I read the reflections, the highlight of the day is to meet these survivors. And this is why this is so important to me. I want them to make that connection, that it's not just another character in a book. These are real people. These are people that they research. And when they actually meet these people, it solidifies what this is all about. It's about relationships. It's about knowing that this truly happened. It's about them knowing that even though 20 years from now people will say this never happened, they know it happened because they actually met a survivor in their life. And this is going to change their lives forever. This is a one-in-a-lifetime opportunity for them. Well, ever since I met Norman, my life has been changed. As a person, as a professional, as a mother, as a grandmother, I actually involve my grandchildren in this process. I teach them about what happened during this event. It has become my mission because it is their missions for people to know and understand their stories. These are people who are aging and will be no longer with us in a few years. So I want to be their voice. I want my students to be their voice. Like I said, this is no longer just a unit of study for me. This is more of a mission in life. It has changed me, the way I look at things, tolerance throughout, the world today. things are not getting better, even though we say that this will never happen again, but we know that things are happening all the time. For the future, I seriously will continue voicing and teaching my students about the Holocaust. I have so many ideas. Next year, I would love to create a movie. I would love to help write Norman Froshman's story. I'm not an author, but I am motivated, and I would love to bring that to a fruition because I know that that's something that he wants. So he wants that, I want that, so I really want to kind of pursue this, to write his story, not just from his perspective, but from the perspective maybe of my students, my own relationship with him, maybe his wife and his children, something that hasn't been done before. So that's something that I'm really thinking about and probably will work on this summer.